So I have all the Kingdom Hearts going in half-an-hour episodes, but there's enough of those that the last episode of the last one that I beat doesn't come out until next month, because I have one episode for that release every odd day, so like the 8th, the 10th, the 12th, and then I think Final Fantasy I have every... Sorry, that would have been even days, not odd days. And then I have Final Fantasy every odd day, so it'd be, the 7th, the 9th, the 11th. So that way you're, like, one's coming out for something every now and again. Blue, so red would be good, never mind. And then, since I do that, then this one I'm not sure if I have this on odd days or even days when the episodes for this come out. And then Origin would be the opposite of that, just so, like, you're getting a lot more content if you're, like, paying attention to my YouTube channel, or if, like, you're invested in one of these streams. Or even if you come in partway through the stream. Like, if you came in, like, in the middle of my Kingdom Hearts 2 stream and you're like, I don't know what's going on, but I want to know what's going on, you could go back and you could watch all of the Kingdom Hearts 1, all of the Chain of Memories, all of the 358 days, and then catch up on the little bit that you missed of the story for 2. And then, whenever you see I'm going live with 2, you can be like, okay, now I can continue. Or if, like, or if you miss a day, you can be like, oh no, and then catch up on the stuff. Well, not all of it, because, like, obviously there's going to be a lag in episodes, and I'll probably end up doing another episode on Twitch before the last one from the last stream comes out, because I usually do 2 hours, so that's four episodes, so usually it's about a week before all of the episodes come out from the last stream, so it gives me, I'm dying. It gives me time to get more content out before the last one comes out, so that way you're not waiting too long for the next one. Because I want to make sure things are coming out at a fairly regular basis.
Do you need to, like, format these or something with those, or do you just plug it in?
Usually you plug it in and it'll ask you to format it.
Okay. I'm gonna do that.
It shouldn't take long. It's usually just a couple minutes.
Okay. I need a knife to open it.
We got lightsabers. Oh. Yeah, so I have a lot on the go. Same with my Apex streams. I usually cut those up into, like, kill compilations for, like, the smaller platform, well, not smaller platforms, but platforms with less time requirements for videos. So, like, TikTok, Twitter, I guess Facebook you can upload longer ones, but I usually don't. So Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, my Facebook, those will all have uploads of, like, my kill compilations, or when I go live, or any updates. My chair hates me. But, like, I enjoy doing this. Obviously, you can tell I enjoy talking. But I enjoy talking to people. 8-man. Behind the second one on the left, the button releases the platform. Good to know. It's a good thing I was paying attention to that right then. I think he's talking about links. Oh, I hit the slow down button. I was like, why am I moving so slow? But, and then, like, I usually try to line up the next game before something happens. Like, before I I finish beating things. But like I have a lot on the go right now, so I don't really have to worry about the next game to throw on stream for quite a while. But like I've got so many games that I can add in that it's not like a huge deal at the moment. But like, but when I start to get to the end of Chrono Trigger, I'll sit there and be like, okay, like what game do I want to do? But like I have so many Final Fantasy and so many Kingdom Hearts games to get through right now. It'll be a while before I even touch anything close to that. No, I didn't want to fight this one. Yes, I am Draven, Harley Quinn. Well, thank you. But, I'm trying to think what else. Blah, 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 blah. But, trying to think. But, like, I've got so many RPGs and other things on the go to add in to stuff like that. So, like, it's never really... I never really have things to run out of. But, like, I also like to take, like, suggestions from people, too. Because, like, one of the really fun ones that was a suggestion from somebody was to do every single Resident Evil. Which I did, which was absolutely amazing. I ended up doing every single Resident Evil on stream, like, one after another. And that was an absolute blast. I got to play the remakes of I think it was 2 and 3 they did the remakes for, and then like 7 and 8 were a fucking blast. So that was probably my favorite suggestion so far. But trying to think what else. I'm honestly not sure what game I'm going to be throwing in next after I beat one of them. Whether it be this or Origin first. Because I still have like 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 15 for Final Fantasy to go. And I still have Kingdom Hearts 2, the 2 or 3 games in between that, and then 3, so like I've got a ton of stuff to go through. Let me go through, man. I'm gonna go save down this way. What? We can't go. I wanted to go save, guys. But so like I'll probably have to go take a look through my library to see what I can put on the go next. Or like, I guess maybe what type of game that I want to throw in there next, because like I do a lot of RPGs, so like sometimes it's nice to get a little bit of the action RPGs in. Like when we did Resident Evil, like, third-person over-the-shoulder horror shooter game. And then Tales of Arise was more of an action RPG. Just because, like, it's the way the combat system was. Hiccup. Stole ointment. I'm trying to think where to go with this. think I got another boss coming up. But, like, you know, there's not very many types of games that actually, I don't think there's any type of game that I don't play. Like, I do battle royals, I do music-based games, I do RPGs, I do tactics games. There's an important guest upstairs. Well, you're gonna let me through anyways. Push it. What are you gonna do? I'm pressing the button. That's what I'm doing. But, yeah, there's just, like, so many genres that I love. Like, I'm just, like, you know, a gamer through and through. So that's what makes it, I guess, hard when games start to come out, because I love all the types. So, like, when you start to have, like, a really good year for games, it's hard to pick and choose, right? Especially when you don't have the money to buy them all. Or the time to play them all. Because, like, there's so many games that I see in the stores, the PlayStation Store, that I want. And it's just like, you know, I want to play that, but I still have this, this, and this to beat. And then, you know, PlayStation Plus keeps pumping out their quote-unquote free games. So it's like one of those things where it's like, well, now I have 3 new games this month that I could play through instead of buying new games. And then you get the games you're waiting for that come out, and you're like, well... So it's definitely very hard to, I guess, go through everything. They're doing pretty good. Time to go up the stairs. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. There we go. Push the switch on the armrest. Nobody's going to sit in the chair. Blasphemy. More fancy doors. Save. It's locked from the inside. There's also like an eyeball there, so I feel like the eyeball is more of a concern than the locked door. I have like people that can throw fireballs. But like, it's also kind of concerning when they start like remaking some of the games or remastering some games, because like, don't get me wrong, I'm like, some of the game like this, I'm glad they put this back out, because like most of the times I don't hook up a lot of my older consoles. Sometimes I do, because it's nice to play some of the games on them that you can't get nowadays, but like, I find they're also it seems to me like they're running out of ideas. Because, like, when I look, like, I have a PS5, when I look at the PlayStation 5 store for, like, PlayStation 5 specific games, a lot of them are on the PS4. But, like, when I look at stuff and I'm like, okay, like, this is, like, PS5 exclusive, or not exclusive, but, like, next-gen exclusive. And it's like, they're all indie games. And don't get me wrong, like, some of the best games I've played have been indie games. but like there's no big titles coming out. There's no big projects on the go that like get me excited when I see them. So like I look at it and it's like, well, you know, when, and like PS5 has been out for a little while now. Like I think it's been at least a year and a half. So like you sit there and it's like, well, when are they going to start like pumping out like the really big projects? Because like a lot of the times they keep dropping the ball on stuff. Like all these games that people are getting anticipated for, they're just, you know, fucking their fan base royally. Like, you know, Halo's a gigantic franchise for Xbox, and like they just started disappointing everybody with a bunch of stuff for that. The friggin' all the new Call of Duties, like I've played all the new Call of Duties and I don't mind them, but like they're shitting the bed on that one. Cyberpunk was like a big letdown for a lot of people. Like I ended up picking it up once they put it back on the PlayStation Store, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I didn't really come into a lot of glitches, but like they dropped the bed on that. Like they're just like, I understand, one, they're releasing a lot of things too early, but they're also not releasing things fast enough either. Like I want them to sit there and like work on these titles so that they're worth coming out, but the fact is they're not. Like there's not a lot of companies working on bigger titles. Like it's just a lot of, you know, indie stuff, or they're re-releasing stuff that they know people really enjoyed back in the day. So like sometimes it feels to me like a money grab. Because like if you look at this game, like they updated the graphics a little bit, like they smoothed everything out. They what else? They updated like the picture graphics and stuff like that, but like a lot of people didn't like the new pictures. Like the new sprites and avatars and everything are really good, but like the animation is good, but in comparison with the old stuff, it just doesn't seem as good, even though it was done back then. The other stuff is, I guess, a more crisp art style. But it's kind of like comparing like animes through the years when you get like the longer ones. Like Dragon Ball Z versus Dragon Ball Super. Like, you know, they're both really good animation. Death. Ah, there he is, Mr. Lynx. But when you go back and look at the Dragon Ball Z animation for like when they're angry or their fight scenes and stuff, it's a lot more like gritty and a lot more like, I guess, refined, it looks like. And don't get me wrong, like when you like the Dragon Ball Z Broly movie was fucking insane. Or Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, sorry. Both were really good. But like when you look back at that animation versus the animation from Dragon Ball Z, if they did the Z animation for that last movie, I can guarantee right now it would have been insanely better. Like just like image wise, because it's just such, I guess, trying to think of the words for this now. I was gonna say harsh, but no, it's not harsh. It's just like a more chiseled effect to the art. Because you sit there and like there's just so much more detail in like their features, and there's so much more like grit when they're like injured and stuff like that. He uses a big scythe. I miss that scythe.
Be your next LARP weapon.
What?
Be your next LARP weapon.
I was already told I'm not allowed.
You're not allowed? What's everything moving?
Not allowed to hook weapons. It's got a hook on it. because I thought about building one because I was like, with all the PVC pipe fittings that I know about, I was like, I could easily make a scythe for LARP. It'd be no good in the woods, but I loved how that move is called Imbecile. Now steal from the cat. Pilfer, thief lady. Yes. What did I get? Magic ring? Okay. Oh, he's making somebody else stupid. But, like, there's just a lot of things they're doing with a lot of these remasters that are just, like, I guess, rubbing people the wrong way. But, like, at least they're trying, though. But, like, I feel like the whole constant remaster needs to slow down. Like, even when they sat there and went, I'm going to, you know, re-release all of the old Final Fantasy games on Xbox. Like, don't get me wrong, that's cool, because now Xbox can play them. But, like, the fact of the matter is, you released a bunch of old games that you already had the data for, and and I don't know what the prices are, but you're probably charging more than you should. Because I feel like they probably got their money's worth from the original releases. But now they're sitting there and, like, because this game, like, don't get me wrong, they remastered it, they updated the graphics and everything, and they added part of it that was only released in Japan. I think it's 26, I think it was 26, no, it was, I think it was 31. But it's like $31 for a game that came out in the, I think it was mid-90s? That seems a little bit iffy to me. Like, I understand they put some more work into it, fine. But, like, they're doing this, I'm pretty sure it's the same for when they just re-released the versions of the Final Fantasy, the older Final Fantasies, to the Xbox. They just sat there and went, okay, here we go, and now we'll just charge, you know, $20, $30 for it. And, like, he's dead. I was not expecting that to happen.
You're not trying to kill him?
I can't use white spells. I can't revive my friend. That's not how I want this to go. And disappear the wand, make it appear in his chest cavity. Or his belly button, that also works. But, like, I feel like they need to, like, work on their prices a little bit. Lesser Pendragon Sigil. Meow. Cat Shadow.
And some ears.
Cat Shadow. With a rabid dog. Well, your shadow obviously wasn't enough to deal with us. Oh no, random headache. It's the dragon tier. Like, I just think they need to, like, rethink how they're doing some things with video games. And, like, re-releasing as opposed to remastering. Or not, no. Remaking as opposed to remastering. Like, 7 is doing well with their remake. I realize, you know, it's going to take a long time with how much fucking effort they're putting into it. But I'm glad they're putting that much effort into it. But, like, you know, they need to start doing more games and trying to put out like more big hits like they used to. Because it used to be like, I remember back like during the PlayStation era, it used to be like a bunch of big RPGs every single year. Like I think Final Fantasy came out almost, maybe every couple years, I think it was. Because I think it was, I'm trying to think when 7 came. I think 7 was 97. Oh yeah, I think they came. Some of the times it was one every year. Oh no! Now we're going to kidnap her because stuff. But like I find like there used to be constant big name games coming out all of the time every single year. It was never, it's going to take us this long to put something out. And like I realize nowadays the technology is making things a lot longer to produce. Like that's standard.